Good evening, everybody. So tonight we're going to talk about gold site secrets. What the heck is that, Jess? Well, just hang on, hold on to your hats. I'm going to talk a little bit about a couple of things that are really important for you if you're interested in knowing about finding gold and keeping it, okay? And so we'll talk about those. And we'll also talk about a few other things, just kind of, I don't know, not bookkeeping, but of interest to you, okay? So gold site secrets, what's that? Well, you see, it's a discussion that I got into in the last week with some prospectors working in one of my workshops. We talked about a couple things that were kind of important, and one of them has to do with basically how important it is to keep the information you have regarding what you're finding. You see, because gold has value. I mean, we're talking real value. So much so that you want to keep track of, well, one, you want to keep track of this kind of stuff. Let me show you what I mean by value, okay? So let's go over this picture-in-picture over here. So right here we've got this picture. Let's go to this one, okay? $1,859.80 per ounce. Okay, that's for bullion, but if you find specimen quality gold, it's even more, okay? And this is kind of an interesting pattern. If we go and look at, I don't know, let's look at a longer range kind of picture. Go back to 2017, the price was right at $1,000 an ounce, okay? And now it's actually down from its peak at almost 2,100 an ounce. So you can kind of see, and it's thinking seriously about taking off again. Well, no wonder. Inflation is rife and alive. Okay, so we've got a serious problem developing with our economy worldwide, no thanks to COVID and a lot of other things that have happened. And so we've got to kind of be prepared. Well, that's just kind of the news of the day, and this is kind of gold weather. You just want to keep your eyes on where this thing's going, but notice it hasn't plummeted to the bottom by any means, and it's starting to show a little bit of a bump upward. So we'll just keep our eyes peeled on that. Now, over in the Gold Prospectors HQ, there are some interesting pictures of gold, some really cool ones that you want to kind of avail yourself of. This is a special kind of specimen gold, okay? Notice it's gold leaf. It's very fine crystals that have grown in a flat plate. That is a really rare find, okay? Worth a lot of money, and of course, of high interest to anybody who finds it, because somebody will want to find more. That's always the case. So what I'm going to be doing is talking a little bit tonight about what would keep you kind of on your toes, so to speak. You know, you look at this kind of thing. This is raw video. They want you to go. Facebook wants you to stay inside. I follow the link for fun. Okay, you might want to check these guys out. They're the guys who create, Discovery Channel's Gold Rush. Okay, and so this is kind of huge amount of gold, but also huge risk to anybody who's handling this because of the value of this thing. You know, this is a gold pan, and it's just partially full, but it's really super heavy and super, super valuable. Any place that you have, or any place that has this stuff, stockpiled, is a target, okay? Because of previously mentioned $2,000 an ounce almost. Okay, so the deal is this. When you look at the kind of values that gold represents, and you kind of go over here and look at this pile of gold, you have to recognize that anytime you're dealing with gold, even the G word, as one of my prospectors mentioned, okay? He said, and he was talking about gold, not God, gold, okay? When he mentioned that to certain people that he was trying to engage for getting claim access, they clamped up. They quit talking. They all of a sudden realized, well, wait a minute. Either A, we don't like your kind around here because we don't like prospectors and miners, or B, gold? There's really value here? And really, if you look closely, you'll find it's a little bit of both. They're envious, okay? They have gold envy. Now, here's the deal. Whenever you deal with this stuff, you want to make sure that you're being honest and full of integrity, but at the same time, not silly and we'll call it the S word, okay? You don't want to be stupid, because you can easily find yourself in a situation where you've announced to people who are nefarious or interested in somehow interloping or claim jumping, and you didn't even realize it. Or worse, maybe they're just interested in hijacking you. That was done back in the gold rush days, and it's still done today. People will come in with guns blazing just simply to either take your gear or worse, take you, because they, for whatever reason, think that it's theirs. And so here's the deal. The easiest way and the biggest defense you can mount against that kind of problem when it comes to gold is to keep it secret. Shh. Hence gold site secrets, okay? Don't talk. Loose lips sink ships. What is that from World War II? Okay, so it's that kind of a thing. Well, loose lips sink sites. You can find yourself in trouble with the authorities, in trouble with the non-authorities, actually the nefarious type of authorities, mafia, etc. You know, who names it? But this is big money. And the problem is, you don't even know if you really have the rights or the access or anything else. A lot of them don't even care. You know, a lot of authorities don't care. That, you know, we've seen this happening recently. There's this vision that if there is value there, it's their property to account for. And the answer is no, it's not. It's not even pulled out of the ground yet. Okay, and so that's the whole principle behind private and personal property and property rights. So you need to basically make yourself aware of what those rights are and protect yourself. But one of the first layers of protection, always, and I encourage you when you're on Facebook, don't just broadcast where you find the stuff or even all of what you're finding. Because all it takes is one chunk going to market or going to somebody, and the next thing you know, someone else thinks they own it. You know, someone else could be the authorities. It could be, like I said, it could be some, criminal, or it could be a family member. You never know. But the truth is, the value of gold is so high that it represents kind of one of those things that changes people. It's worse than money. It really is. It's way worse than money. And so what ends up happening is people get this idea that you're somehow changed. You're not. Or they're somehow changed. You owe it to them. Okay? You don't. And so you got to just first evaluate all the conditions and play with a full, play your hand private to yourself. If you start laying out your cards and telling people what you got and where you got it, good luck, because it's a problem. And so gold sites need to be kept relatively secret, even if it's a club, even if it's a public site. I've got one member who's found himself a pay streak in the middle of a club claim, and somehow, he doesn't recall mentioning it, but somehow somebody figured out what he was doing and how much he was doing, and he went back there a couple months later and it was all cleaned out. It had never been mined before that. He was covering back his tracks and all that stuff, but when he got back there were holes everywhere. So, and that's the thing about public sites. But even private sites have the same problem. You just have to be really, really careful about who's watching, who's listening, and who's sharing. And it could be even you are your own worst enemy. So here's the deal. I just wanted to bring this up tonight because it's so important to kind of keep track of. I also want to kind of point out to you there's other things you can do to educate yourself about a variety of topics. That I wanted to call your attention to the Sourdough Miner site. And if you're ever interested in things on this site, there's a whole bunch of blog posts and so forth. There's a way to track through here. So it's sourdoughminer.com is the location. Check it out right here. And when you do, there's a tab up here called Products. And on the Products tab, you can avail yourself. You just click on it and it explains some of the things that we have available. We've got more stuff coming, and we've also got some things we've just sent out to all of you who are on my email list. We are busy bees this fall, and we want to basically provide you with all kinds of opportunities for the holidays, including Black Friday. So all of that good stuff. We'll let you know as soon as possible. But first thing you can do is just go over here to the Hunting for Gold Sourdough Miner site and check out some of these blog posts. Here's one, Where is Gold in Tennessee? It's a pretty popular post. You can go in here, and one other thing, if you're ever wondering about it, is you can click on this little magnifying glass over in the corner. That's this thing right here. And when you click on it, it will come up with a little type things, search and enter, and you can say gold in Arizona. And voila, where's gold found in Arizona? So you can search for one of those things in there, There's also in there in the products is the GGM, which is kind of how I created these things. Look at these videos to kind of give you just a 100,000 foot view of where the gold is, and then dive in for yourself and find out some more. But these videos are short and sweet and to the point. They are not detailed.
Good evening, everybody.
That is part of the point.
For this
if
episode,
you want details,
we're
you
going
need
to
to
take
go
a
down to the
detour,
local
a little
canyon
bit
and
of
look
a
inside
difference from
using
what
the
we've
same
done before.
techniques. So go
let's
check it
take
out.
a look at
The
where
link's right
gold
here,
is in
sourdough miner
Arizona.
GGM.
I'm going to be
so
talking
check
a
that
bit
one out
about
and have fun. Knock yourself out. That's anyway, promotional post. Trying to get my words together here and I'm stumbling. So that is really kind of what I wanted to share with you tonight, is that principle of gold site secrets tied together with how you get started to find gold. But once you even start finding it, you want to keep yourself, you can talk about what you find, but you got to think, how is this going to be interpreted? How is it going to be acted upon? Does this give away something I really shouldn't be telling? That's an important question to answer before you share the secrets. So that's it for tonight. Just thought I'd share some gold site secrets with you. And good prospecting, good night, and have a great evening and a great weekend coming up. Good prospecting, Prospector Jess, over and out.